You are listening to The Standard Show, the podcast that brings you the stories behind the standards.
Hello, this is Matthew Chiles and welcome to Innovation Impact, a series from The Standard Show, the podcast that brings you the stories behind the standards. Innovation, as defined in ISO 56000, is about turning new ideas into value. At BSI, that's exactly what the Group Innovation team does. They explore these new ideas, experiment with different approaches, and develop opportunities that create impact for clients, society, and BSI itself. In this series, we hear from the people involved, and I'm joined by Emma Glass from BSI Group Innovation, who will help guide us through these conversations. Now, before we get down to it, here's Cindy Parakill with a quick reminder.
Hey, just a quick reminder to follow, rate, and review the podcast wherever you listen. Want to get in touch or find us on socials? All the links you need are in the show notes.
So one of the great things with the CISL program is that you get to actually touch the industry's actors. You meet them. Wendy New, for example, was always present, always very vocal about the way that BSI is working internally. So sometimes when you're a startup, you have those huge organizations and you don't really know by where to talk to them or how, if you can even talk to them. So they educated us a lot on the language that they use, what's important to them, what's not. So it allows you to be very clear cut once you finally get into a decision-making seat.
Hey, Emma Glass.
Hey, Matthew Chiles.
So, Emma, this episode of Innovation Impact is all about how BSI Group Innovation, working in partnership with the Cambridge Institute for Sustainability Leadership, or CISL, is supporting emerging sustainability tech startups.
Yes, Matthew. And the voice we heard there was that of Isur Coursenet, co-founder and CEO of an organization called Initiative, which is based in Paris in France. So Isur previously took part in the Trust in Sustainability Accelerator program. So she is well placed to speak about her experience in the program and the impact it has had. And Initiative, the startup she co-founded, is a digital trading platform for carbon quotas. So aiming to democratize access to strategic markets for European industries. So Isur was talking there about the value of BSI's partnership with CISL to ensure trust in sustainability. And I think what she said there about the involvement of BSI and the exposure given to these growing startups because of the program is actually really illustrative of the impact this partnership has on the sustainability ecosystem. So in this episode, we will be hearing all about just one of the initiatives led by the BSI Group Innovation team's Sustainability Innovation Lab.
Now, before we get into that initiative, tell us a bit more about BSI Group Innovation.
So, Matthew, at its core, the Group Innovation team helps BSI push beyond what it does. So we think about how to almost empower the organization to explore, to innovate, and to evolve, and really transform ideas into impactful opportunities for people, for clients, for society, and our colleagues as well. Really making sure that the concepts that we design and shape are useful and responsible and grounded in evidence. And I think what's really important is, as a team, we create a space to try things out. So innovation needs room to experiment, to learn, and sometimes to get things wrong as well. And we turn the good ideas into outcomes that really make a difference. And of course, the Sustainability Innovation Lab is just one part of this team.
Yes, the Sustainability Innovation Lab.
Yeah, so the purpose of the Sustainability Innovation Lab is to develop digital solutions that deliver trust and best practice in sustainability. And it's really about helping organizations to measure, to model, and demonstrate their sustainability impacts to enable more sustainable decision making. So the partnership that BSI has with CISL is long-standing. And so far, the team has supported 25 companies through the program with over 13 million raised by the cohorts.
Now, Emma, you were in Cambridge to meet with the third year of the Trust in Sustainability Accelerator Programme.
I was. So it was so great to be in Cambridge for the event and to really capture this partnership in action. And what was really clear was that sense of shared purpose between BSI Sustainability Innovation Lab and CISL. It's all about creating impact for sustainability. So this is the third year the team is running the program. And excitingly, it is the most international yet. So we have startups from the UK, from Ireland, Europe, the US, and from India as well. And while I was there, I spoke with BSI's Wendy New, who leads the Sustainability Innovation Lab. I also spoke to the CISL team's Jay Zhao, head of International Innovation. And I spoke to two members of the previous cohort, Olga Tutabalina and Azure Kosanei, who you heard at the start of the episode. So I spoke with Wendy New first, who leads this work, and the team about the Sustainability Innovation Lab to really set the scene and understand more about the lab's role in this.
So we collaborate with the Cambridge Institute for Sustainability Leadership, or CISL, on an accelerator program called Trust in Sustainability. So this is a program where we bring together a cohort of startups who are looking to grow their businesses. And between our respective teams, we find them the connections, the opportunities to meet investors, or even to pilot their solutions and to co-create solutions with us. And hopefully that gives them skills, expertise, connections, and evidence that they can use to accelerate the growth of their business. The Sustainability Innovation Lab, we're about 4 years old, and our role is to really be exploratory for the company. It's really fun to take risks and think about what's possible. So we want to create digital solutions that live up to BSI's purpose about impact, about trust, about best practice, but think about how we can deliver that in a totally different way. And so we rely on working with technology partners to help us build and co-create those solutions, and then we test those with our clients to make sure that it has the real-world impact that we are aiming for. The collaboration with CISL has been a core part of the work of the Sustainability Innovation Lab. When we first started discussing with their team on what we could work on together, I think it became very obvious early on that we have a shared purpose of creating impact and supporting these solution providers and making sure these incredible digital solutions get out into the market. And so it became pretty obvious that this accelerator program of combining our respective expertise and networks might be a really good way for us to create impact. And so we're delighted that this is now the third year we're running this program. We've had 16 companies do already, another 9 this year. It's been really exciting, I think, to get to know the range of companies involved here, thinking about more sustainable value chains and what we can do to help them to grow. Of course, the other thing that really is important for our work is that we have an open innovation model. So we rely on finding exciting new technologies that we can test with our own clients and see how BSI can use those to create impact in our own way. So this is always a great opportunity for us to really have the time to get to know these companies and what they do. And it's always amazing the kind of ideas that come out of that from those new perspectives and what we get to learn as well. So we're starting off today, and I'm really excited to keep this going for the next few months and even years into the future.
Great to hear from Wendy there about the purpose of the Sustainability Innovation Lab and the role collaboration plays in the operational model for the team. And you can really tell there was so much energy and excitement in the room.
You really can. Now, Wendy mentioned there the collaboration between the Innovation Lab and CISL and other organisations too. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
So the partnership is really evident between the two teams. The Sustainability Innovation Lab is based in the Utopia building at the University of Cambridge. And it's great to see how the collaboration has actually expanded out to other parts of BSI as well. So I mentioned this earlier, but it's clear that to see that kind of shared purpose for our two organizations in the work that Wendy is leading. So it's really about creating impact for sustainability. And so to dig a bit further into this, I spoke with Jay Zhao, head of international innovation at CISL, to find out more about that partnership and about the accelerator program.
I'm the head of international innovation here at CISL, of course, part of the innovation team. So at CISL, we basically stands for Cambridge Institute for Sustainability Leadership. We're part of the University of Cambridge, department, and we have been around for nearly 4 decades and really try to accelerate the sustainability agenda, whether that is working with policymakers, try to advocate more sort of policy support, or working with corporate, either their executives or board, to build awareness within the corporate. But also we work a lot with the startups and innovators. As we can see, lots of the startups, scale-ups, they're coming up with disruptive technology which can totally change or challenge the incumbent of how they do things. And those are the areas how we drive and accelerate change towards a more sustainable future.
How is the Cambridge Institute for Sustainability Leadership collaborating with BSI, and how is that collaboration contributing to CISL's purpose?
I think both BSI and CISL are impact-driven organizations. So that means we're here not just for the profit. We really try to be the ecosystem builder. That's probably a shared mission here. But then we bring in different strengths to the table. From the CISL perspective, we have amazing network of corporates, investors, startups, who also have this shared vision with us. And also from the BSI perspective, you have been working with different sectors and industry, have much more depth in terms of those sector knowledge. I think that's where the two come together. That's why our current Trust in Sustainability Accelerator, we would be able to leverage those network and expertise from both organizations and give the startup who are part of this cohort the best chance to survive and scale their business.
Jay, this is your first cohort that you are responsible for and kind of guiding through this journey. And you said something really wonderful this morning in your introduction about how these startups aren't alone. Like, this is a really wonderful opportunity for them to share experiences and knowledge as they go through this journey. And so one of the questions I wanted to ask you today, based on the energy and the excitement that we've had this morning, what are you most looking forward to in terms of what these startups are going to get out of the program? What do you see being really good outputs from the program today?
Yeah. If you ask startups what do they want to get out of it, usually that's our 3 things.
Okay.
The first thing is around capital. So lots of them are raising money. And then the second thing is corporate engagement, because all of our startups today here, they are not B2C corporate, they're actually B2B. So they're looking for the engagement sales pipeline with large corporate. And then the third thing they're looking for is to build a team. A startup can't do everything, the founder can't do everything on their own, so they need a really brilliant high-performing team, help them to translate this idea from the founder into a product, into the market. So that's the 3 things. And when I say we design the program, wrap around them, that's specifically 3 things we try to support. In terms of the capital or investment, we have amazing network of investors in either VCs, family office, or corporate ventures. We can give them access to the network of investors. And this is the trusted relationship we have built with investors over the past several years. So that's one thing. And then the second thing on the corporate side, a lot of time startup working on a solution, they think that might solve the problem from the corporate, but is that true? To what extent? So for them to have access to corporate, to be able to get a direct feedback from the corporate, to understand how do they need to fine-tune, where could they fine-tune their solution a little bit, that would help them to move on to the next iteration of their product. And then the third area I mentioned about is for them to build a team. We will have a series of structured sessions on different topics. A lot of them would be around how they scale the culture, how they build a team to deliver the shared goal. So those are what startup could expect from the program. And our program is very different. We don't have a set of curriculum. We try to do things very bespoke, very organic. We try to make sure, it is the best investment of the startup time here. So that's how we support them. So hope that helps.
So, of course, this is the third year that we are in partnership, BSI and CISL. And, over that time, we've seen some really great startups come through the program. How is the partnership delivering for you, and how do you hope to get more out of it going forward?
Yeah, I think the partnership has always been around trust, and that's why trust is at the front and center of the accelerator we do. And I think in this day and age, we've here, for example, a lot of political headwinds against the ESG. There is a burst of ESG bubble. There are lots of corporate taking ESG out of their a strategy, and we have seen political headwind, and also investors probably be a little bit more conservative about their investment. So I think there is still a lot to do. That's why I think the partnership between CISL and BSI really sent a very strong signal to the market that we believe this is the right thing to do, this is the right thing to invest in. And through our network, then you have this triple effect. Then more and more corporate will be aware of what the solution coming out. They are more willing and open to accept or even do pilots with some of the startups. Ultimately, what we want is the solutions can be scaled, at a incredible speed.
Emma, clearly there is a huge focus here on helping the startups to grow and really build on what they already have.
Yes, and what I particularly like here is that Jay has highlighted the incredibly strong alignment between our two organisations. So, we are both impact-driven and purpose-led. And of course, the fact that we are bringing different strengths to the table. So Cambridge, with its academic history, its corporate investors and startups who have this incredible kind of shared vision, and then on the other hand, you have BSI with its 125 years of history, our in-depth sector and industry knowledge, and of course, at the heart of everything that we do is the standards development.
Standards affect all of us, every day, everywhere. By defining good practice, they help people and organizations do things better. Each year, standards bodies publish thousands of standards, and we're always looking for more people like you to join our growing community of standards makers. We welcome applicants from all backgrounds, areas of expertise, and career stages. Our goal is simple: to bring a balance of perspectives to the table. As a standards maker, you can help improve how things are made and done, whether it's building more inclusive workplaces, improving healthcare, advancing AI governance, accelerating climate action, and much more. If you want to make a difference and help shape the world through standards, start your standards making journey today. Details on how to get involved are in the show notes.
Now, Emma, you were there in Cambridge to meet with the third cohort of the programme, but also a couple of people who took part in the previous cohort as well.
Yes, so this was a really great opportunity for the new startups to hear more about what is to come and to really get their insights from those who've previously participated. And so we heard from Izor Cassane earlier, and I asked her about her key takeaways from the programme.
After you get to mingle a little bit more with industry professionals, so we found one of our early advisors, thanks to the program, who was a professional in the regulatory landscape, where we were still missing some holes. After that, we did quite a few back and forths in London. We had a great presentation also that we were able to give in front of different stakeholders, different VCs, that helped us accelerate along the journey.
Great, perfect. And can you tell us, so of course BSI is a partner as part of this program. How did you work with BSI during the program, and has there been any kind of legacy work afterwards as well?
So one of the great things with the CISL program is that you get to actually touch the industry's actors. You meet them. Wendy New, for example, was always present, always very vocal about the way that BSI is working internally. So sometimes when you're a startup, you have those huge organizations and you don't really know by where to talk to them or how, if you can even talk to them. So they educated us a lot on the language that they use, what's important to them, what's not. So it allows you to be very clear cut once you finally get into a decision-making seat.
Great, thank you. And for you, what was the most valuable takeaway for you, but also for your startup as well?
I'd say the people, always. It was amazing to meet fellow startuppers on their journey, fellow founders, and I can see them grow when we're growing at the same time, so that's very nice, but also the team at CISL.
It's really great to hear that there's sort of continued collaboration between the startups and BSI once the accelerator program is finished.
This is one of the great things about the Sustainability Innovation Lab. So there is space to explore and grow and to really support these startups. And I think that's what makes the group innovation team and the work that we do more broadly so interesting. It's about creativity, it's about piloting new ideas, and this is just one of the ways that we do that. I think one great example of that is actually with a previous cohort member, so that's Olga Tutabelina from Gentian, and I asked her to share her own experiences. Could you tell us a bit more in detail about what you did as part of the program and what happened over the course of the program as well?
Yes, so we had a range of lectures and workshops and breakout room activities on all stages of a startup journey, a value proposition, defining a product, marketing. The lectures were really, really good, very engaging, and it was all really thought-provoking. We also talked a lot to our cohort, to the people in the other startups. We had 6 startups, and with some of them we actually collaborate now as well. Yes, so we had a number of special meetings, dinners, and also a number of speaking opportunities. Not just a demo event in the end, but I think we participated in a number of events, customer-facing, which was really, really valuable to nail that pitch and learn more about customer needs.
I really like what Olga was saying there about the breadth of the topics covered, as well as the exposure the startups received as part of the program, getting these opportunities to present and speak at events to really promote their organizations.
Yeah, and I certainly think the program and the partnership that has been developed gives the cohort an extra level of visibility that they wouldn't necessarily have received otherwise. Jay illustrates it perfectly. The partnership between CISL and BSI sends a strong signal to all those working in this space that this is the right thing to do and encourages wider support of new and emerging startups. We want solutions to be scaled at an incredible speed for trust in sustainability. I've got to say some very sincere thanks to everyone for their wonderful contributions to this episode, to Wendy New of BSI and Jay Zhao at CISL for leading this work and capturing the program in such wonderful and incredible detail, to Azor Kosane, founder and CEO of Initiative, for sharing her insights, and to Olga Tutabelina from Gentian for providing such interesting perspective into the program and the impact it has had for them. And of course, a very special thank you to you, Matthew Chiles.
And to you, thank you, Emma Glass. To find out more about the themes raised in this episode, other episodes in the Innovation Impact series, and about how to get involved in standards, then follow the links in the show notes. And the show notes are also where you can find details of our socials and all the other ways to get in touch with us here on The Standard Show.
You have been listening to an episode of The Standard Show, the podcast that brings you the stories behind the standards.
You just heard a Stripped Media production.